Hello everyone, this is xRyguy9, and this is the first video in a series of videos that I'm going to be putting out on the xRyguy community site that will serve as visual guides and walkthroughs to get through every jumping puzzle in Guild Wars 2. The reason we're standing here right now and you are looking at my character is that I wanted to give a brief introduction to this character and why he is the perfect one to be bringing you through all the jumping puzzles. On first sight, you will probably notice that this character is a Norn. And he's not just any Norn, his name is Norny. Norny the Magician. He is a max size Norn, and I wanted to do this series on this character in particular for two reasons. One, he's a Mesmer, which has access to Portal, and two, because if a max size Norn can do the puzzle, then I figure anyone who follows these guides should be able to do the puzzle as well, because Norns are generally at a disadvantage when it comes to camera and getting through jumping puzzles. The camera can just randomly scroll into first person without you doing anything, and that's kind of frustrating sometimes since you can't see your feet so you know when to jump, but at the same time, like I said, if the Norn can get through it, everyone else should be able to get through it just fine. So, without further ado, let me show you what my setup is. You don't have to have special gear to do jumping puzzles, but this is just what I'll be using. I'm in full soldier's gear, which is a bit odd for a Mesmer and a bit odd for PvE in general, but it makes very good gear for jumping puzzles because it has a lot of vitality, and that's very good for falling. The other thing that is unique about this gear is I've put 6 superior runes of Snowfall in, which, as you can see, you take 25% less damage from falling, which is something that isn't on any other rune. So that, paired with, in traits, I would recommend highly when doing jumping puzzles that you take a trait that every class has access to in one of their lines that reduces your fall damage by 50%. This, combined with snowfall runes, which are optional, should mean that you should never die from falling unless you really jump off something way too tall. There are a few jumps that would happen, but they're few and far between. Most of the time, if you have those two things, you're going to survive. I've actually put out a video that I'll link to in the description that shows how powerful these traits in particular with snowfall runes are. So, that's my gear, and that's how I'm going to get through these more easily, hopefully. And with that being said, let's go do our first jumping puzzle. The first jumping puzzle we are going to do is the Under New Management puzzle in South Sun Cove. If you've never been to South Sun Cove, you need to go southwest of the Posture and Ward waypoint in Lion's Arch, and the portal is around here. And it will pop you out near the Pearl Islet waypoint, which is actually where our first jumping puzzle is. So, from the Pearl Islet waypoint, you're going to want to go east. And if you go east, you will see these stairs under this cloth. You should go up these stairs and then to the right. You'll see some wood platforms to jump on, so you should follow these wood platforms around. There's a little beam to jump up on next to the wall here to get you to this wooden platform. And you basically want to follow the wood until you get to this stone pillar. When you get to the stone pillar, you can kind of see how the jumping puzzle is starting to form. So once you're here, you need to jump down onto this wooden platform below. From this wooden platform, you want to head to this hanging wood, and then to the other stone pillar here. From this stone pillar, you want to take another jump down onto the wooden beams, and once you're at the end of these wooden beams, you want to jump up, and you'll see you get a slight bit of elevation. Not much, but it does matter. The next jump you want to make is to this little bit of wood that you can see popping out here. Personally, I like taking these more precision jumps sideways, which sounds odd, but when it's just little gaps like this, it's actually easier in my opinion. So you take a little jump to the side, you kind of have a little floaty thing going on, but it lets you jump up here. Once you're up here, you can follow this wooden beam out on top of this this stone pillar. Once you're at the top of this stone pillar, you need to turn around and jump forward to this stone pillar. And then you can see there's an easily accessible wood plank here, followed by another stone pillar. From this stone pillar, you need to jump straight across onto the wooden platform, and then go to the right to see another stone pillar, one more piece of wood, and then you are at the chest at the end of the puzzle. So, if you've never done this puzzle, this is where you would get your achievement, and you get to open the chest that is here. As you can see, I've already opened this chest today, and if you wanted to farm these jumping puzzles for Imperial fragments, you need to remember that these chests reset with the daily. So you can come back once a day and get Imperial fragments from this chest, which I would say is probably the most valuable thing that you can find in jumping puzzle chests most of the time. Although you also do have a chance to get rares and other gear, which is also nice. But as far as shortness of puzzle, this puzzle in particular is one of the shortest in the game, so if you just want to get Imperial fragments really fast, you can always come here and do this puzzle very quickly with practice to get Imperial fragments. But, that being said, this is the end of our first jumping puzzle, and therefore it is the end of this first video. If you found this video helpful and would like to support the series, feel free to leave a like. If you have an idea of something I can do better, feel free to leave me a comment, and I will consider how I can do that next time. And I will see you guys in the next video, where we will be taking on the Skipping Stones jumping puzzle in Salsa. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.